All right, so we go into chapter 3, Up in the Sky, and it shows some of Batman's forces. I mean, here's Captain Marvel. I mean, did this just give away everything? I mean, I guess if we were smart enough, we knew, but I thought the shock of Captain Marvel was supposed to be, more shocking. But, anyways, we got Batman, Green Arrow. I don't know most of the younger ones' names, but there's the daughter of Dick Grayson, Donna Troy. There's a Green Lantern. There's a Flash. There's Ted Kord, the Blue Beetle. Is that Wildcat, like a new form? This is the guy who I guess maybe that's the son of Zatanna or something. He's the new like magician. Here's the daughter of Green Arrow and Black Canary right there. Yeah, there she is. You got Deadman back there. He's going to show up here. That's supposed to be Steel, but he's with Batman. You can see he's like has the ears, the pointy ear things that Batman has. So he's with Batman instead of Superman. Another cool image, very biblical again. More scripture. Norman and Spectre chit-chatting, and here's the Gulag. It looks like the Legion of Doom's lair, doesn't it? That's interesting. But it's in the Kansas, where it's a wasteland now because of that explosion. But that's where they put it. And this is what is inside. It's filled beyond capacity, and I think this is Miracle Man. He's just making sure everything is going, running smoothly. Again, very impressive art by Alex Ross. Magog is in there. He can tell he's not having a good time. And there's this like holographic image, like a recording of Superman, just like, hey, there's a right way and a wrong way, and it's not difficult to distinguish. So it's just their way of rehabilitating. That's not gonna fucking work. These guys aren't gonna hear about it. Yeah, so all these prisoners who are put in here, they're not like holding cells. They can move around, but they're getting pissed off that they can't move. They can't. They're basically not free. And tempers are flaring. Conflicts escalate. Things aren't gonna end well in here, right? And somehow Luthor has this guy being able to see what's going on inside, and he's happy. And then they talk about Captain Marvel, so they're not really. I guess it wasn't spoiled over here, but yes, his role in this remains a mystery. So you have some of these more. You have the Wizard from Shazam. You have one of the Green Lantern, whatever they're called, like this just kind of council. I don't know who a lot of these guys are. But the Spectre can talk to them. I guess they're debating amongst themselves whether they should interfere with what the humans are going through. Norman's not really part of that. This is a conversation not meant for his ears. And he sees Deadman here who can see him, and they start having this little kind of conversation. Again, I'm not too familiar with this character. But he was human once, so he kind of has a joking attitude. And he's talking about, he kind of talks about the Spectre, how he used to be a normal human, a cop even. He was a superhero himself, but he's gotten weirder and weirder. He's like, you don't know how he's going to act. So that was interesting. So now we're here and we're checking out Wonder Woman and Superman. They're hanging out in space. They're chit-chatting, kind of just having conversations about old times, joking, just, keeping their friendship going. They enjoy each other's company. Showing, like, their powers. She's bouncing little pieces of meteorite off these asteroids and all that. He uses her lasso to grab some of these asteroids there. And again, they're just kind of talking about, what they're doing. Is it right? Is it wrong? Amazons believe in peace through strength. And they get in this kind of tug of war with the lasso. Just kind of. They're not really doing it, but it's like, it's like a representation of the argument that they're having. And Superman says, we have a greater obligation to keep the peace, and he lets go. And it's like, only the weak succumb to brutality. So all this horrible imagery, and Billy Batson here is watching it. He's being forced because he's under the control of Lex Luthor. This is part of how he's keeping control of him. And they're in the laboratory, and there's like these weird slugs that Lex Luthor is putting into his ear again, controlling him. And he's about to say shiz, and he's like, no, not yet. I have a special job for you. And in the back, there's this like upside down robotic bat. So there's Luthor coming in to speak with Bruce. I always like the relationship between Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne. Like, it's a very different dynamic than Lex and Superman, or Superman and Batman. These two are both like incredibly smart, and they're both human, and in a different world they could have been like allies, or Batman could have been the Lex Luthor to Superman, So they're creating this Steel Legion, I think they're calling it. Just this army to take on Superman and everybody. More talking about their plans. Batman brings in some of the newer generation, the sons and daughters of the League. They have lended their support. And take note of this. This was kind of a fun little detail of this guy who's the son of Batman and this girl here, son of Robin. They start kind of looking at each other right here. This is not a story point, but it's just one of those little details that they start to kind of have an attraction towards one another, which is, Batman's son, Robin's daughter. Just kind of interesting. So with Batman, he has this guy, and he says, I need you to use your telepathy. You need to stay focused. And can you verify what we think? And it's the Martian Manhunter. And I like this, how Norman McKay's like, who is this guy? And he basically says it's a guy from another world. He was a Martian champion. He lifts up like the veil, and only they can see it, and that's what he really looks like. But since he can shapeshift, Martian Manhunter. And for some reason, he's messed up. What did he say here? Someone so desperately longed to understand the human psyche that he finally, in one terrible moment, opened his mind to the world and was forever shattered by its thoughts. So his mind is broken. So Batman's trying to get him to help him use his power so he can verify something. We don't know what. But he's still kind of having a hard time. It's like, it's okay, don't worry. It's like, so go and rest, dream of red sands and silent stars. And then there's Captain Marvel kind of mingling with some of these other characters, and everyone's afraid of him. They kind of live in terror. Not everyone knows who he is. I think nobody knows who he is, but they just know he's powerful, and they're just scared of him. Oh yeah, there's these two. He's putting the moves on her. She's all into it. Superman, he's using his telescopic vision, and he's like looking down on the world, saying like, okay, Germany's clear, Austria looks clear, Italy's good. Some of the other leaguers, Robin, Donna Troy, these might all be Teen Titans. That'd be funny. They're just kind of talking about, they don't know if what they're doing is the best idea, and they're kind of talking shit about Superman a little bit. It's like someone with telescopic vision can't see the world around him. Like, he can hear you, and yeah, he's listening in. And then Norman here, he says, he's talking about the Flash, described as too fast to be contained by one plane of existence. Every strata of reality are open to him. And he's like, so settled in my role as a spirit, he forgot that. And Flash is somehow able to sense his presence and pull him out of that realm that he was in, that spirit realm. So now he's on, he's on the Watchtower, whatever they're calling it, with the Justice League. And they're like, Power Girl's on him first. So she's like, who are you? Where did you come from? Answer me. She's about ready to fucking pummel him, like turn his goddamn head to paste. But Superman stops her. He's like, so, who are you? And Norman here, he doesn't know what to say. He's like, I'm supposed to, this isn't going to make any sense. And he starts telling him, like, a catastrophe comes. Armies are raised against you. I'm warning. I'm here to warn you. And he's like, warn me? And again, he doesn't know what to say, Norman, so he just starts quoting scripture. Green grass was burned up. Fear God. Give glory to him, for the hour of judgment is come. And Superman's like, okay, I don't know who you are, but what you're talking about, that's meaningless. Armageddon isn't around the corner. Like, you're just being grim, blah, blah, blah. As soon as Superman says that, Robin, whatever his name is here, he's like, holy God. Word just came in from the Gulag. There's a riot going on. The prisoners have gone berserk. And Superman looks at Norman right here, like silently, like, okay. Superman's about to like, okay, here's what we do. But Wonder Woman just steps in. It's like, okay, Flash, Green Lantern, Power Woman. Not Power Girl, she's a woman. That makes sense. Go to the Gulag, take control now by whatever means necessary. He's like, through peaceful means. She's like, whatever means necessary. So, like, get down there, take care of shit. And Spectre takes Norman McKay and he brings him back. He pulls him back in. Superman kind of notices for a second, but he can't really dwell on that. Too much shit is going on. And then Superman says, it's like, why'd you undermine my authority? He's like, what? There was a crisis. I reacted. We need that sort of authority from someone. Pull yourself together, goddammit. But we need to go see the UN. We need to talk about this. So Superman, Wonder Woman, they go to the UN. Again, they're not happy. There's a fucking prison on American soil. And you say it's like has no danger. And that the incarcerated are fully docile and eager to acclimate. That's what you're telling us. Is that true? And Superman's silent. Wonder Woman notices. He's like, no, not entirely. Like, it's still a work in progress. And there's a danger there, but, we're taking care of things. And none of the humans from the on the UN, they're like, yeah, this sucks. And it's like, we can't risk another Kansas. It's like, we have to we're going to do something. If things get out of hand, we will take action. So that meeting didn't go too well. And Wonder Woman also says the same thing. If the Gulag prisoners get worse, we're going to have to take final decisive action. So everyone is just like, the Gulag is just a pot or kettle that's boiling over. It's just getting to a boiling point. Lex is like, great, good news, everyone. Moment has come. Final strike is going to happen. The Gulag is revolting, and it's going to tip over onto the Justice League. We just need someone to, light the spark, more or less. And Billy Batson, he's like, wait, what are we doing? Me? He's like, yes, this is what I have you for. And he's like, only you can ensure the destruction. I'm ordering you to demolish the gulag so that its prisoners roam free. That's going to fuck up everything. Tumble down the walls of Jericho. So this is a cool thing with that Alex Ross did here with Batman. So there's Bruce sitting, and he's just kind of there. You kind of always aware of Batman's presence, but as you're focused on Lex and Captain Marvel, Shazam here, and there's Bruce in the background there and there, blurred out, like no one noticed him. There's no details. There's more details on her and him back here than Batman coming up. That just kind of shows like how quiet and silent and sneaky he is. And he pulls up and he punches him in the fucking face. Steps on him. Hello, Billy. And they're like, wait a minute, that's Billy Batson? That's who we've been afraid of? He's like, I wasn't sure, but John's telepathic probes confirmed it. His identities are in conflict. Batson grew to manhood. Luthor kept him in check by turning him into a suit of schizophrenic psychoses. Luthor's like, but our goal is like, yeah, I wasn't really aligned with you. I only had one goal, was to learn your connection to Captain Marvel. He was a wild card, and I hate wild cards. Luthor's all pissed. You double-crossed me. So we were all kind of worried, like, is Batman a villain? Is he, we don't want him to be a bad guy in this, which he was seeming to be, but no, he's Batman. He knows what he's doing. He's a smart motherfucker. And this guy back here is like, is a signal given? He's like, absolutely. So all these young heroes, they attack or restrain the MLF. This guy's going to go after the Batman's son, but what's her face? Since she kind of stops him right there. Another cool detail. So Catwoman, Riddler, they're taken, and he says, Ted, follow Luthor, don't let him get away. And Billy pushes Batman down. So Luthor's running away. Ted Kord is able to stop him by activating these Batman robots. And Batman's chasing Billy. He's like, stop. It's okay. You don't have to run anymore. Let's see. Luthor found you, took you under his wing. He fucked you up. I can help you. He's saying, you just have to calm down. But Billy is freaking out. He's running, and he runs into this container that has all these slugs that was putting in him. So they're just all around him, and Batman's yelling at him to stay calm, but he just freaks out and he just screams Shazam. An explosion. Bruce is like, fuck, god damn it, and he's gone though. Hole out the wall. He's like, so what do we do now? Take me to the cave. So we go back up. Wonder Woman's gearing up, and this is the outfit that they had Wonder Woman wearing in Wonder Woman 1984. Not the best movie, but that was a cool little detail they put in that movie from this. So Superman's going in like, oh, you're gearing up for war, like you're using blades. It's magic. It's a magic blade which is able to cut Superman a little bit. And it's like, and you're going to use a blade? You're going to use a weapon like this? We know Wonder Woman uses these things, but at the time, she usually only used her lasso. She's like, yeah, not all of us have heat vision, you son of a bitch. So they're arguing, but then they get a call from, I think this is Green Lantern. It's like the fight in the Gulag goes worse than expected. They've already begun to breach the walls, and they've killed Captain Comet. And you see this one guy holding this body. So they've already killed someone. Wonder Woman's pissed, and Superman's kind of in shock. He's like, oh God, how could they? She yells at him. He's like, I know what to do. We're going to go down there, and we're going to tell them they fucking surrender, or it's war. He's like, yeah, but you can't have a war without people dying. This is going to just lead to death. I've always liked this shot of Wonder Woman's face. The expression, the anger, the detail, good stuff. So they give each other a kiss. sound of marble scraping steel. The kiss completely devoid of passion. It is a final farewell. So, she leaves. Superman's by himself, and this is a really cool moment that comes here. He's by himself. Boom! He's flying out. Bat that crashes through the walls into space, goes through a satellite. You think he could have, zipped around that. Crashes into the ground somewhere and comes up through the Batcave. And Superman's like, I need your help. It's like, we've talked about this. And he knocks away his tools, like, shut up. I don't have time for this. Like, I need your help. The Gulag's ready to blow. Wonder Woman and the League stand outside its walls. There's going to be a war. And so it goes to Wonder Woman, and there's the League outside. Surrender or face the consequences. Batman starts giving him some lips. Like, you never imagined this? You didn't consider that this could happen? And he says, like, the deliberate taking of human lives goes against every belief I have and you have. That's the one thing that we have in common. You're dark and brooding. I'm all, like, powerful and, heroic, but we still want to save lives. He's like, when you scratch away everything away from the surface of Batman, you're left with someone who doesn't want to see anybody die. He's like, help me. Tell me you'll help me. He's like, yeah, well, there's another player you haven't considered, Captain Marvel. He's like, wait, what? Yeah, and he explains everything that happened. Marvel's headed for the Gulag now. He's going to break it wide open onto the Justice League. He's like, what do you expect me to do? But he turns around and looks, and Superman's gone. He didn't realize. So that's what that feels like. Kind of a funny moment there. This is a cool moment. Sequence of events. Superman streaking across the sky. It says, without a word, my spectral guide opens all horizons to me at once. So you see Superman streaking. You see the Gulag and the Justice League. And you see this lightning in the background coming down. Closer on Superman, he's going. The air scorch in Superman's wake. More lightning. He's going like fucking fast. This all it has to take like place in over just a few seconds. See the dawning horde in Wonder Woman's eyes, and the lightning hits the Gulag, blows a hole in it right there. And they're like, fuck. See Superman, he's coming up on it. There's smoke coming out of it right there. Wonder Woman's getting ready. And this is some cool imagery. This is just like some of the villains and whoever inside here. But it looks very demonic. And Ragnarok is at last unfold. And worst of all, the desperate hopes of one man who might yet stop it. Superman's coming. He gets hit. He falls down. Turned to ash and cinder by a single bolt of lightning. Armageddon has arrived. That's fucking cool. Now, when I was reading this as a young man, if I would have known more of who he was, this would have had a bigger impact on me. But, I had to kind of learn who he was after the fact. But this is a cool fucking end to issue number 3.